What is going on, everybody? How are we all doing? And welcome today to my first official proper gameplay video of FIFA 18. Of course, if you're not aware, which if you're not aware, you must have been living under a rock or something over the last 24 hours, the FIFA 18 demo is now available on Xbox and PlayStation. People like myself who haven't been able to get on the beta have been so hyped to finally get a taste of what the game's going to feel like from a gameplay perspective. As well as that, today we've had all the player ratings coming out as well, so it's been just a jam-packed day of FIFA excitement, to be completely honest with you. And I thought, I know there's going to be a million people and their dogs doing videos on the demo and their thoughts, and I thought, why not be one of those people? Hopefully you guys will enjoy the video. If you do, leave a big thumbs up on it, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the game as well in the comment section down below. Of course, it's only a demo, we can't read too much into it, it's just single player kickoff mode, so it's not going to really compare to Ultimate Team. I don't think when that comes around, it doesn't usually, but it's always fantastic to get a feel for the game from an aesthetic point of view as well as a gameplay point of view. You can see the game we've got set up in the background here. Manchester City, who I'm obviously going to be, versus Real Madrid. The first thing I'm going to show you actually is the new quick substitution thing, which it does show you the tutorial in the team management when you first come into it, but it's something that's very, very handy. All you need to do is click right trigger on a particular player. So, for example, here I'm going to go Jesus. You then click on another player, so I'll go Sane, and when you come into the game, when the ball goes out to play, you get the option to make a quick sub. You can do one of three, which is the three that you can set up. So I'll quickly do this. We'll perhaps do David Silva for... Who can we bring on? Yaya Toure, potentially. You don't have to make these substitutions, of course, but it's just nice that you can do them really quickly in game, particularly in Ultimate Team. If you're the kind of person like myself that's maybe got the same three players that they bring on all the time, this is something to give you to be able to do it a lot quicker, basically, which is very, very handy. I think the last sub we're going to do, we'll do Aguero as well, the other striker, and we'll do that for Sterling. So you can see there we've got them marked up as 1, 2, and 3, and I'll probably, well, if I remember, I'll try and demonstrate that when the gameplay is going on in the background. But I'm going to just play the game fully, going to talk through it, to give you a few of my opinions on how the game feels and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into this game, I suppose. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is the aesthetics of the game, if you like. I'm going to let all this roll through now, the introduction to the game, the players coming at the tunnel, all that kind of stuff, and try and pinpoint exactly what's been improved with the game, if it looks any different to FIFA 17, which, I'm going to be completely honest with you, I think it looks a tiny bit better, but I don't think there's a massive difference in the way the game looks, personally. I think the main difference is probably with the crowd. The crowd definitely, as you can see on screen now, is that's definitely, without doubt, a big improvement on FIFA 17, and the players and everything, it does look a little bit nicer, but I don't think it's massively improved. I don't think anyone expects it to be massively improved, to be completely honest. And everything you've seen in the background now is very much what you see in FIFA 17. You've got the players to watch, all that kind of stuff, the players lining up. So there isn't anything majorly new there. Very disappointed we haven't got a bull David Silva. Hopefully that's something that we will get when the full game comes out. But, you know, I don't think it looks majorly different. It does look nice. Obviously, FIFA always tends to look nice, but I don't think it's a massive step up from FIFA 17. I don't know if anyone's going to disagree with that, really, to be honest. But, yeah, nothing too new to write home about. But one thing that is worth mentioning, of course, this is two teams that are playing from different leagues. I think if you did, like, Man City, Man United, you get the official Premier League stuff for this kind of game. However, on FIFA 17, the official Premier League stuff didn't really get updated and put into the game, until a few weeks into it, if I remember correctly. So there is still a big chance that this stuff could all change. But you can see here, this is the thing where, this is the part where you might see some first changes. So you're going to see the teams coming down, and in fact, no. I thought at this point you could see the players walking towards the thing like on Sky Sports, but maybe that's just when it's Premier League games, who knows. But you can see it's very standard at the moment we're playing. I've tried to replicate with our lineup here what Man City play in real life, but it's very difficult to do, and it's I've tried to do the best there. We are playing 5 at the back. We did against Liverpool at least last weekend. This is the Real Madrid lineup, like I say. Everything at the moment at this point, pretty standard, nothing dramatically new. And yeah, I think we're just going to skip past it now at this point, to be honest. There's nothing new. We've of course got the one-person kickoff now. That's something that's come into football in real life over the past season or so, I think it's been. But we're playing on world class, so this isn't going to be an easy game. This isn't my first game. This is, I think, my 3rd match. And I think it does feel slightly different, but I don't think it's massively different from FIFA 17. I think... We'll talk differences first, I suppose. I think passing feels a lot more crisp. I feel like you've got the ability to control a game a lot more than on FIFA 17. But I'll repeat what I said at the start. This is only a kick-off game. And it's going to feel a lot different in Ultimate Team, in my opinion. When you play FIFA's, usually all the game modes feel very, very different. You tend to feel that single player's a lot slower, especially kick-off mode, which is what I think this feels like basically. It's also worth noting that I haven't played FIFA for quite some time, except for the couple of friendly games I played on this demo. I haven't played FIFA 17 for weeks, and so I don't know, maybe I won't remember things as clearly as perhaps I would have done if I was playing it regularly still. But yeah, the main takeaway I've had so far from this is that it feels a lot slower. But saying that, like I say, kickoff mode in FIFA 17 feels a lot slower as well. It's difficult to really say right now, obviously, that we all know as well that the other thing with FIFA is that it can change on a day-to-day basis. One day you can go on and you can feel like you're the king of the world, playing really well, certain stuff's working, and then you can play it the next day, and it doesn't feel like anything's working at all. So, again, that's something you need to take away from this FIFA, is a beast, if you like, that is constantly evolving, and it's never the same. That being said, there are definitely some things that you can feel that are different, which I think is what I said I was going to talk about, but I've ended up going off on a tangent, which is not surprising. That's something that I always do in these commentaries. If you watch this before, you'll know that. But more differences. Physicality seems a lot more important. Shielding is still definitely something that you can exploit. I think particularly, like I say, physicality is important. If you've got a strong strike, something like that, you can really feel like yourself backing in. I've not used many teams, to be honest. I've only used Man City and Real Madrid, but when I had like Benzema up front, I found myself shielding. In fact, that's all I've used PSG a little bit as well. But I found myself using the shielding a lot more with the likes of Benzema, and it seemed to be very, very effective. Also, from an attacking point of view, it's I don't want to say it's a lot easier to get through, but once you've committed a defender, I think they struggle a lot more this year to get back goal side. We're going to drill this across goal. That was a very tame effort there. But yeah, once you're goal side of a defender, they struggle a lot more from my experience to recover and get back goal side and get a challenge in. So it's really a game of trying not to commit as much as you can, I think, when you're defending. I think I was watching some, obviously a few YouTubers have been, well, I'll say a few, quite a lot actually, have been to the capture event that's been going on in London recently, and a few of their videos have started coming out today, and a lot of those videos have been talking about the gameplay as well as doing pack openings and that kind of stuff as well. But from a gameplay point of view, I know a lot of people have been saying that the AI defending that a lot of people were using last year is now something that's completely gone, and I would agree from this demo that is something that definitely seems a lot less prevalent than it has done in FIFA 17. And what I mean by that is, if you're just jockeying at the back, if that makes sense, on FIFA 17, I think if you're playing your player in the right position, a lot of the time they'd automatically just stick a leg out. We've got a loader room at the bottom here. They'd stick out a leg, get an interception, that kind of thing, which is not something that you're particularly telling the player to do. That's like an automatic AI response. That does not seem to happen at all this FIFA. It's very much a case of if you commit, if you commit and you've done the wrong thing, you will be punished for it. If you've got a player in the wrong position and you try and lunge and you don't get there, you've just lost that battle, basically. The defender, more often than not, will get goal side, and that's something that I'm not massively used to as of yet, so I'm sure you're going to see me being punished for it in this game. Another thing that a lot of, the EA spoke about in the lead up to this game is the AI intelligence in regards to each team playing differently. Now, I've played against a few different teams. I've played against United, I've played against PSG, playing against Real Madrid right now. I've not noticed a massive difference, to be completely honest with you, but I think if you played someone like Barcelona potentially, their tiki-taka football might be a bit more noticeable. I will say that when I played against United, I felt like they played a little bit more in the counter-attack, but that could have just been the way that game played out. So I've not noticed that to a large extent. When it comes to scoring goals and that kind of thing, I've already said I think once you're goal side of someone, you tend to be through on goal. Are low driven still a thing? For me, I've scored a couple of them, yes. Are they going to be quite as deadly as they are in FIFA 17? It's still very, very early to say. I think when you're building an opinion on this game, like I've already said, it's a beast that evolves, it changes a lot. But you don't really start to find out what's OP, so to speak, and what works well until perhaps even a month into the game at some points. I mean, I know I wasn't aware of the low drivens until way deep into FIFA 17, which was appalling because that was something that was so strong in the game, but I just didn't seem to jump on that until very late. But finesse shots seem quite good as well. That's something that I've noticed. I mean, I've not really managed to create many chances here in this game, to be honest. It is on world class, like I say. I'm trying to I personally, when I'm playing these demos, as we hit half-time, would rather play a game of World Class or Legendary than just batter someone on Semi-Pro or Beginner just to score goals. I'd rather have like a game and really get a feel for how the game's going to play, because this is the kind of quality that I'm going to be playing in the future. But you can see Real Madrid with the one shot, us with the three. I'd say we've been on top, we're controlling the game, and that's going back to the passing that I mentioned at the start. I do feel like you are able to really dictate the play a lot more and build up slowly, but again, it is just kick-off, and maybe that won't be the case in Ultimate Team. I think the other thing that's worth mentioning is crossing. I've scored a couple of crosses, but I've not scored many, but I've not tried it a lot. It's the kind of thing where I've not tried it a lot because I'm not used to trying it, if that makes sense. Like I'm so used to on FIFA 17 and FIFA 16 as well, if my memory serves me to be correct, where crossing hasn't been particularly prevalent, so I'm used to not crossing, so that's something that I need to do a lot more. In fact, shall we do it right now as I speak about it? Like, the crosses just seem to... Well, strike that! Oh, it's gone over. The crosses just seem to be a lot more... a lot better, basically. Like, the quality of the crossing seems better, if that makes sense. Like, when you cross it in there... I've not managed to nail it yet, but I know there's different types of crosses you can do. You can do like swerved crosses, you can put crosses in like floated crosses, and that's not something I've particularly mastered yet. I don't know how you do them, to be completely honest, but crosses do definitely seem a lot more dangerous. And when I've conceded goals, a lot of them have been from crosses as well, unfortunately. So that's definitely something to keep an eye out for. And the other thing to speak about in terms of gameplay, we could be in trouble here as we do go 1-0 down. You can see we got the option to make a quick sub there, but that was actually a very nice finish. I think that's Gareth Bale on his right foot. He hits that very strangely, but that's the kind of thing I mean there. Like, he got goal side of me. There was no way I could possibly recover from that situation. We're going to see it on the replay here. It's a very good ball out wide, but you'll see, I think it's Mendy here. He gets goal side of me. I cannot do anything about that. Maybe that's not quite the situation I was talking about earlier, but yeah, we couldn't come back from that one. What's that with his right foot, or was I talking absolute rubbish? But yeah, Edison couldn't quite get there, unfortunately. We will watch the replays, because like I said, this is the whole point of the demo, to experience all this kind of stuff. The stuff that you're probably not going to be watching, like the full amount of when the game comes out. I think the cutscenes and everything, people tend to watch a lot for maybe the first game, and then you just never see them again, do you, usually? But you can see they're going to be making a substitution, taking off Casemiro and bringing on Kovacic, using the quick sub. Not that you'd know any different anyway, because it's the AI. But I'm quickly going to just turn my camera off and on, because that's... going towards that 10-minute mark there. But yeah, it's the other thing I was going to talk about just before they scored was penalties. Now, I would like to take this to a penalty shootout just to show you that, but that means we've now got a score, so no pressure, no pressure. But the penalty system, once again, has completely changed. Of course, FIFA 17, they brought in a brand new system, which was, I think it's fair to say, was pretty flawed. There was a lot of complaints about it, with the ball just rolling under the goalkeeper, all that kind of stuff. So they've completely abandoned that now. Very fresh new system, and the new system actually reminds me a lot of the system they use on PES Pro Evo, where you have to press the button to engage to get your power, and then aim afterwards. I think that's how the PES system works, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's very similar to that. Hopefully, if we can take this to a penalty shootout, we might not get the chance, to be honest. But I'd like to show you. So basically, what happens is, I think it was last FIFA was the first time they introduced the fact that you could like move your player around the penalty, like you could move it from left to right. That was something that you could do last time. You could do again. Now you use the right stick to move him from left to right, wherever you want to move him. But now, rather than using the stick to do your run-up, where a lot of people last year, obviously you'd move left, right, and it's sort of... Basically, there was a whole thing at the start of the game, wasn't there, where you could tell which way someone was going for a penalty by how they were running up, which was ridiculous. So they've taken that out. What you now do is you press B. That initiates the run-up. You do your direction at that point, but you can also, once you've started to run it, you can use left trigger and right trigger to speed up and slow down. So you can sort of do, as we've been ripped apart there by Real Madrid. We go 2-0 down, absolutely torn apart there. Lovely moving. In the second half, actually, they've been all over us. It's Bale again, Bale at the double. But as I was saying, you can use the right trigger and left trigger to sort of stutter. So if you use the right trigger, the player will really, really speed up and run towards the ball. Then if you pull the left trigger, they'll slow down. So it's a cool way to do that. And you can actually, the technique that I've been using early doors is literally putting not a lot of power on the penalties, but then like speeding up with the run and slowing down and all that kind of stuff. And it's been quite cool, actually. It's a much better system than last year, I'd say. It's going to be a lot more difficult to exploit, but then again, I'm sure someone will find a way, and if they do find a way, I'm sure that'll soon find its way throughout the community and people will be doing it all the time. But in this game, it's fair to say we've been given the sausage. It's quite interesting because usually on the career mode, I'll play on Legendary, which I'll be doing on this year, and it's really strange, isn't it, how like 3-0 down. This is exactly what I'm talking about. How... Oh, just knocked my elbow there. That's going to cause a loud noise. Apologies for that. But yeah, usually I'll play on Legendary, on career mode and that kind of stuff. So you'd expect to be able to just pick up the new FIFA, go into Legendary. But even though it feels only slightly different to me, like I don't feel this game feels massively different to FIFA 17. Despite that fact, you can sometimes come onto a new FIFA and just struggle to score goals, struggle to play nice football, and I don't think that's been the case with me, to be honest. This is the first game where I've actually been properly sausaged, I will say. But obviously we are playing against Real Madrid as well, who I've not played before. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, it takes you a little while to get to grips with the game, and then when you find out what works, what doesn't, you tend to then start doing it a little bit better. Usually, they're like the tradition of my career modes is that I'll struggle at the very beginning and then sort of pick up form after a few games. So that's probably going to be the case again, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, although it's strange, isn't it? Because like I say, to me, the game doesn't feel massively different, but it feels different enough to make it a new challenge to pick up and new things to learn. So I think the main things people are going to have to be picking up are the passing. To me, the passing feels a lot crisper. Like, it's the kind of thing where I think if you get good at it, it could be very, very rewarding. I think it's how can I explain it? Like, oh, can we score a goal? Low driven. There we go. Lovely finishing off the post. That's the low driven show, and it's still a very big finishing thing for me again this year. It's going to be very strong again. Lovely finish from Aguero. But yeah, it's quite easy to do on a basic level, the passing, but it's the kind of thing where if you get good at it, there is a next level where you can, if you get better, then I think you can, how can I word this properly? The game rewards you for getting better at the passing. That's how it feels from a picking it up point of view, because like I said, I put together some really nice moves, like that one there actually. That was a nice move, but at the same time, you could do it on a basic level as well. I don't know if that got a point across that I was trying to make. Hopefully it did. I think the other thing people are going to have to get used to a lot or is defending. That's definitely a lot better. Like I say, it's something that it's going to take a lot more skill to pick up and learn. And I think if you get it wrong, you're going to be punished, and that should be the case. Defending shouldn't be an AI thing. It should be a human thing that we control. And if we can't do it, we should get punished. That should be the name of the game, and that looks like it's going to be the way FIFA 18 plays out. So they're basically my initial thoughts, and I've rambled on a lot there. We've lost 3-1 in the game, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, hopefully you got to understand the points that I was trying to get across there. It's still very early days, only the demo of course, and still a long way to go with the game. I'm sure a lot's going to change when it comes out. I'm sure opinions on what works and what doesn't is going to change when the game comes out. It's still very, very early, do not forget that. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on the demo in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of it. Have you been enjoying it? Do you think it's a step forward for FIFA? Let me know in the comment section down below. But that is going to end the video. Like I said at the start, leave a big thumbs up if you did enjoy, and I'm really looking forward to giving you more FIFA 18 content when the game does release very, very soon. Cannot wait to start that. So hopefully you're hyped for that as I am. I'll catch you all in the next video, lads. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and Nidge out.